Little cabin in the wood. The climbing picks jingle. The tiny rocks shine black and bright. Be careful when heading up and down the mountain, lest the rocks be your plight. A disaster. This is a disaster, I tell you. You call this interior design? No wonder no one hires Siestan for design work. This is a tourist destination, yet it has no architectural style of its own. And you don't even know how to copy someone else's properly. How could you sully the elegance of Victorian style like this? Look at this table. I said I wanted it to have marble-like texture. Instead, you went with this cheap, low-quality wood. Perhaps you should look at your budget and again, see if you gave me enough for even half a slab of faux marble. Ha! Alright, looks like you don't quite understand your place, Miss Anne-Mayer. If it wasn't for me, you'd still be following the Sargonian caravans, fumbling your way around town. There's nothing stopping me from reporting you to the cops as an undocumented immigrant who illegally entered Colombia. Then, you won't see so much as a dime. If you do that, I'll report you for sheltering and hiring an illegal immigrant. Now pay me. Why, you... What a foolish Siestan. So crude and disrespectful. When the city's so stupid as to willingly give up their obsidian mining industry, their bread and butter, they are bound to be citizens like you with no respect for others. Money first. Yell at him only after you get the money. Nothing to say. The tragic thing about you is that you haven't even realized Siesta's foolishness, and you're here shouting and accusing me. I can't make nothing from this job. I need my traveling money. If you people had chosen to join Victoria all those years ago, you would long have become citizens of the Empire, indulged in the opulence the Empire has to offer, and found your place in the Empire's grand history. Instead, you're here, trying to earn a bit of coin to get on your way. Looks like you're at least savvy enough to understand my point. Take this. It's your pay. Count it well. It's in Victorian pounds. You know the denominations, right? Don't you even think I'm trying to shortchange you, lest you make yourself seem ill-mannered. Mister, you aren't deserving of my manners. You don't know anything about Siesta's history. You don't even know the first thing about Victorian architectural history you're so proud of. What's more, Victoria's glory is all thanks to your ancestors' contributions. It hasn't got one bit to do with you. Why don't you go take a look at the buildings in Victoria and see how Siesta's obsidian has changed your architectural style and become the kind of luxury commodity that you snobs adore so much. Who's the one with a narrow perspective here? Why, you! The Siestans closed off the mines to protect the environment. Everything we do it for the sake of our homeland's future. Not like some stingy man who's just talking about the glorious past over and over to win himself respect. I'm going back to rebuild my homeland and help breathe new life into it. But what about you? What have you done for Victoria, given the shape it's in these days? Anne-Mayer curls her lips a little and measures the thickness of the stack of bills with her hand. Even the Colombian denomination crew pays more, oh noble employer. I hope your tastes will help you make your comeback. Now, cheerio. Need to go over anything again? It doesn't hurt to be careful. Everything of value is still here. Now this is in one piece. It's good enough for me. I'll send you the reward I promised. The exhibition grade obsidian and the certificate. We'll make it to you in probably 2 months. That's great. I'm looking forward to it. The collector's eyes briefly lights up, though his excitement doesn't last particularly long. Is there some kind of bewitching power to these obsidians that has you enthralled like this? Are you interested in obsidian yourself? I suppose not. I've learned my lesson. There are very few people out there who truly have an eye for their beauty. Most with have their eyes on obsidians are up to no good. Never mind. I shan't bother you any longer. Goodbye. Mr. Pelipper Brown, are you perhaps related to the bankrupt Siestan tycoon, Beat Brown? Don't even mention that scary old man. There may not be many who still remember him, but I'm sure he was much more well known back when obsidian was still Siesta's main export. I spotted this name while I was going over the data. I didn't expect a successor to be running a little hot spring hotel in the area. The volcano gave Siesta plenty of riches, and the hot springs are no less wonderful than the obsidian. The old man died a couple years ago. Neuropathy. He never went anywhere close to the mines. But he got infected on his way to Colombia for vacation when the car's original engine broke down. Oh, I'm sorry to hear. He wasn't really a good man. But his mines did create many jobs. If his protective measures were just a little more comprehensive, perhaps he would have won the gratitude of the miners. I've heard that when the government announced the ban on obsidian mining, your mines were the first ones to work toward shutting down. What else was I supposed to do? The only alternative I had was to break the law. Alright, Mr. Brown. I hope we'll get to work together in the future. Your hot spring hotel is very spectacular. Would you perhaps be interested in developing it into a hot spring resort? I'll pass. I'd rather not go through all the ruckus. That is, unless you make me an offer I truly can't refuse. Say, an even bigger obsidian. That's even more pleasing to the eye. Speaking of which, your obsidian collection here have all been delicately cut and polished. How come there's a geode that hasn't been polished whatsoever? Oh, don't you get any funny ideas about it. That thing's more expensive than all the pieces in the hotel combined. Adele? Adele? Is this Muti's hand? So warm. Muti is stroking my shoulder. Wake up, Adele. Adele, you mustn't sleep here. You'll catch a cold. I won't. It's very warm when you're here by my side. Muti. Adele? Keller hides the surprised expression on her face and reaches her hand out to gently pat Adele's head. Are you awake? Oh, Professor Keller. Did I just... I'm sorry, Professor Keller. I fell asleep. You seem exhausted. Did you have a nightmare? Are you feeling unwell? Or is it your illness? I'm okay. Adele sees that the elder scholar is looking at her with a worried expression. Her eyes are full of concern. During their short time together, she has never seen the stern scholar look so gentle. Professor Keller, could you tell me just what happened at William University all those years ago? I don't understand, Adele. What are you asking? No, Adele. We have to go. Yes, it's time. Where are you going? We have to head back up to the volcano before it starts to rain. Rain. Professor Keller, does the word rain have any other meaning? Silence. Keller bites her lip, as though there is something she wants to say, but she nonetheless swallows those words back down. Adele, when this observation is over, I will tell you everything. All right? Mr. Dolly, you told me before that every little black sheep is different. They aren't just your clones, right? Are those dreams really just dreams? We found the northern wind and the seed. Will you give me all these answers if we find the fur? Why does it seem like everyone is hiding just about everything from me? There is no answer, and unlike the mischievous kind of silence she got before, Adele can feel that something has truly disappeared from her side. Adele looks around the empty exhibit hall and finds the whistling rock specimen that was lost and then recovered a few days ago, sitting where it has sat, having not moved an inch. Mr. Dolly? Good morning, siesta. Today is August 21st, 1099. The humidity is 63%. Visibility 12 kilometers. Winds blowing south-southwest. Estimated 3 days until volcanic eruption. The exciting time is almost upon us. How's everyone feeling? Who do you want to share the moment with? Did any of you forget anything back in old siesta? If you did, that's too bad. I mean, what's anyone supposed to do? You only have yourself to blame for being so careless in your move. It's all too late now. But, whatever the case may be, we should try to look at the bright side. It's only by casting away our old burdens that we can better welcome the future. You go your way. Let's get our day started with the song from the Reef Band. Watch out. Be careful. Hold that sign up. It's a bit heavy, so get a good grip. It's such an old sign. Since we're tearing things down anyway, can't we cut it up first before we take it down? Yeah, we may be tearing the place down and moving. But if Old Man Mockingbird were to find out about you cutting his sign down with an axe, he'd climb out of his grave and beat the living hell out of you. Stop complaining. 3, 2... Oh. Mister? Are all these instruments here discounted? Yeah, they're all as cheap as they get. I couldn't bring myself to, but I figured I wouldn't have a chance to sell them once I moved to the city center. Keeping the instruments on gag order? Now that would be a real waste. How about it? Why don't you pick one? I remember you said you've always wanted your own guitar. I could give you a free textbook on how to play it too. This kind of guitar goes for 150 certs? Enos says he earns 3 for every hour he works. Let me think about it. Not like we can bring it with us. Might as well take it out and let everyone have some fun. We want to do something special that we can look back on before we all move out of the street. Like what? Drink? Look at the sea? Set off some fireworks? We'll invite all the old miners that we used to drink with and other shopkeepers on the street. Have them bring their friends and family. How about we have a party at the empty plate the night before the eruption? Container party. Sounds cool, doesn't it? Mr. Costa. Oh, the punk from White Volcano. What are you doing here? Don't need to go look after the shop? We're preparing for our move too. We don't have a lot of customers these days. If I don't come out to earn some cash, we all might just go hungry. I'm sorry about Grandpa Mockingbird. May he rest in peace. He was getting on in years. It was going to happen. Perhaps he's in some other place, sharing his taste in coffee. No need to be so polite. Just a couple years ago, you were still a punk who would come out to watch my concerts at night instead of going to bed. Just call me Costa like before. If I remember correctly, it was the Cory Bantic Costa. I'm not so Cory Bantic anymore. My guitar, bass, synth, sold them all long ago. Truth be told, I really miss sneaking out into the venues with the adults too. Those were the good times. You'll get it once you get a little older. There are no such things as good times. All times are a waste of time. It's only after we waste our time away that we can bring our memories back out. Dust them off. And think back on how great those times were. Thinking back, I must have pissed Grandpa off so much back then. The city hall staffer squints at the cars on the street. The cars zoom past them, leaving behind a few streaks of silhouette in his vision. So, Enos, if there's anything you want to do it now. Don't wait till everything you knew no longer resembled what they once were. By then, it's all too late. Yeah, I will. Costa taps Enos' shoulder and sighs. The residents of the shopping district have, for the most part, agreed to the rebuilding proposal, and my work has come to an end. For the time being. With the way things are, this isn't so bad. Life must go on. Strange. I haven't seen a single sheep on my way here. We have to go now. Yes, it's time. The streets today seem awfully quiet. Was it all just a dream? No. That letter, the rock, and the surfboard that flew right into the sky. They were all real. Adele tries her hardest to think back on what proof she had that all the adventures she had the past few days were real. But the harder she digs into her memories, the less believable her memories become. Mr. Dolly? Are you there? Mr. Dolly? Mr. Dolly? Are you still there? The girl's voice is carried away by the wind. Your blood crystal density is fluctuating a little, but for the most part, it's still within the normal range. You said you passed out suddenly. What do you mean by that? More specifically? Dr. Ceylon, can neuropathy cause hallucinations? Theoretically, it's possible. What did you see? Lots of little black sheep. And they all talk to me. And I don't know why, but it just feels like I've seen them before. Well, that sounds like it could have been caused by stress. But it's weird. Some old miners have told me about similar hallucinations when they came in for consultations. Let's keep an eye out for a few more days. During that time, make sure you take your medicine on time and get as much rest as you can. If you get any hallucinations again or feel unwell, come to me immediately. Okay. If only all my patients were as cooperative as Eyja. Things would be so much easier for me as a doctor. Not like a certain someone here who's always giving me a headache. Stop chewing me out. I'm here for my follow-up and my medicine, am I not? Alright, this counts as an improvement. As a way to encourage you, I won't charge you for this consultation. Really? But I have something I want to ask you. A few days ago, I found this basket of obsidian on the shopping district. None of the shops nearby admitted that it was theirs. Do you have any clues about its origins? Well, judging from their color, these obsidians are very similar to the one you gave me before. It could very well have been mined around the same time from the volcano. It wasn't me, I promise. I haven't been near a volcano since I got infected. So you mean there's still people mining obsidian illegally? Enos? What else do you know? Well, I guess I'd be lying if I said I didn't know anything about it. Don't try to fudge your way out of this. Out with it. Dr. Ceylon, some of the workers here know you're the mayor's daughter. It was hard enough to get them to come to you for consultations. If you dig into who's mining obsidian, sure, what they're doing is not right. But this might just be a conflict of interest? I'm me, and the mayor's the mayor. Why must my group together with him? I came back here this time because I wanted to do something for Siesta with my knowledge. The Rhodes Island office is my blood, sweat, and tears. He's got nothing to do with it. Seems like Dr. Ceylon really doesn't like Mayor Herman. Maybe Ceylon isn't on very good terms with her father? Anyway, Enos, you know who the obsidian belongs to, right? Take me to them. It makes me feel like I'm selling them out. But if it's for the greater good, alright. Take me with you. I can help identify obsidian. No can do. Last time you almost sneaked away. You weren't leaving here until you get enough rest. Huh? What about me? I'll take you out to eat. After the night has shrouded the street, Adele steps outside the office. A lone little black sheep stands outside, staring blankly at the closed door. Huh? Another hallucination? What's going on? Didn't I just get some rest? Adele goes around the little black sheep and prepares to go back home. The little black sheep staggers a bit and turns around from the office's door. It sways its head and turns on the miner's lamp on its back. The lamp shines and illuminates the path before Adele. Adele takes a step forward and steps into the shadow cast by the lamp on the sheep's back. There's really a light? She turns around and hesitantly reaches her hand out and probes. Then she feels some warm, fluffy wool. Not a hallucination? No, I've seen you before. You're the sheep who ate the address off the letter. What's that you're carrying on your back? A miner's lamp? Yeah, she's losing it. You're supposed to go back to Ceylon. You're not supposed to interact with the hallucinations. They're not real. Here are the results of the latest public opinion survey. The Swire Group's Aquatic Paradise proposal is supported by 33% of those who polled, while the Mountain Dash Logistics Center proposal is supported by 21% of those polled. The other competitors are all hovering around 10%. Although the result of the public opinion survey is only one of the factors that the city government considers when making its decision, based on the current results, the Swire Group's proposal has the advantage. Say no more. I'm sure Mr. Bison here can figure out the situation by himself. Surely Miss Swire didn't invite me and the city government here just to gloat over the results? Of course not, Bison sir. I'd like to make a deal. The Swire Group will drop out of the bidding, but in return, I want to buy into Mountain Dash Logistics Company here. Hasn't that been your goal all along? Not entirely. But I thought about it a little afterwards, and your being here isn't all bad news to me. A smart business person always looks for possibilities where both parties gain something and makes decisions that yields the maximum profits given the situation. Going by what you said, you're really so confident? You wouldn't have come negotiate with me. Well, would you not agree that trading a percentage of your company's shares in exchange for your biggest rival's exit is a good deal? How much are you looking at? Swire lightly knocks the table 3 times. I want this much. I will report your arrangement to the mayor and continue to inform you of any further arrangements. I wish you two a pleasant time in siesta. Is that all for the show? For the time being, I guess. Oh. What's so funny? Sorry. I just didn't expect that you'd resort to these means, too. Commissioner Swire, if I were to openly invest in Mountain Dash the business, word's hard. If I were to openly invest in Mountain Dash's business, forget about registering our own company. They'd write Mountain Dash up for thousands of reasons and shut it down in our first day in siesta. My family's wary of me. Good thing they aren't that wary of me yet. As long as they still see me as a young, hot-headed superintendent, I can still cover my actions with that as a ruse. I'm really fortunate that I'm not actually a business rival. This is just the first step, though. The Federation of Enterprises will put it all together sooner or later. We'll face all sorts of difficulties going forward. Are you ready? Have you come this far? It's probably too late for me to have any regrets. Well, partners then? Yeah. I look forward to... Your terminal? No. Isn't it yours? Swire and Bison each take out their terminals. They take a brief look at each other before hitting their respective answer keys. Hello. Is this Bison, the legal representative of Mountain Calm Trade? Hello? Is this Miss Swire? The City Hall has received a report that your company has illegally employed undocumented infected. At this point, we need your company to immediately cease all operations. Please prepare the following documents for the city government's investigation. First, we need the list of all infected employees working for your company. Miss Swire, that was an interesting show, and it did buy you some time for your prank. Unfortunately, the group is very unhappy with your decision. You should know that there are limits to what you should and shouldn't do. This investment game is over. Thank you for your cooperation. Goodbye. This stops here. I hope you'll think about the consequences of your actions. Well, that didn't last long. This is some uncalled for slander. Well, it's pretty obvious you snitched on us. They're trying to buy time right before we sign our contract so they can catch up. But why use the infected as an excuse? Since when has Siesta had any policies against the infected in any way? We don't have time to deal with these setbacks. If only we could convince Mayor Herman. You're right. Herman is our chance at a breakthrough. But what reason does he have to stand on our side? Besides, if my hunch is correct, he's probably being pressured in some other way right now. Mayor Herman, you're a very hard man to reach. I thought my answer before was more than clear. There is nothing for you and I to discuss in person. Naturally, Columbia respects all the rights that Siesta enjoys as an independent city-state. I'm here today for a different matter. Siesta's infected question. Colombian federal law states that infected citizens must be enrolled in a suitable healthcare plan in order to reside in our nomadic cities. Otherwise, they must join the pioneer teams. Siesta was not a nomadic city, and so it was not bound by this regulation. However, given the current circumstances, we need to reevaluate the rule of law here. So this word game of yours is your idea of pressuring me? I hope you grasp the situation, Mayor Herman. This is not a negotiation. Since when do we need to be so sneaky about buying obsidian? What choice do we have? They've been pretty strict with inspections lately, but this is a great opportunity for people like you. In the know. Seize the day. The logistics center will be done soon. There are lots of merchants waiting to buy obsidian. Ugh. When has Siesta and obsidian ever been all that rare? You probably have plenty hidden in your shop yourself. Why come to me? What they want is freshly mined obsidian. What's it? Volcano heated obsidian contains the land's energy and has amazing health benefits. Alright, I'll stop messing with you. Do you have any new obsidian pieces aside from this basket? Whatever you've got, I got buyers lined up. The quality's good enough. They're willing to pay this much. Enos gestures a number with his hands. That much? Yeah, I do. I dug up a bunch a couple days ago. No? So recently? Yep. I kept some real pretty ones. Look. These are some mighty fine obsidians, don't you think? They're lovely indeed. Oh, is she mad? Now would you please tell me more about your illegal obsidian mining operation? Enos, You set me up, didn't you? When did you fall so low? This isn't exactly a setup now, is it? A copper's a really loud mouth taught me this. Sorry, Uncle Jackie. It's for your own good. You don't put your health on the line. We just have a couple questions we want to ask you. Work with us, will ya? That's everything. Are you gonna lock us up? Who are you planning to sell the obsidian to? Is it Pelipper? No. Pelipper stopped buying from us a long time ago. And he's a man of his word. He hasn't bought a single pebble. No matter how high quality obsidian. He didn't so much as take a glance. You got all this out of us. But what good is it gonna do? That bastard Herman's always doing whatever he wants. Without a thought to the consequences. First, he made us all stop mining obsidian. Then he said the volcano was gonna erupt. It's been almost 2 years since we moved here. And it hasn't so much as let out a puff of smoke. Maybe he should have taken a look at where our money was coming from just a couple years ago. But doesn't Siesta really have lax infected policies? That doesn't mean they've got jobs for us. If all the out-of-work miners became drivers, they could probably tow a city a couple kilometers. Besides, I'm already infected. What else can I do? Once Mountain Dash Logistics moves into the city, we'll have even more people without work. Not a mayor's talking about tearing the shopping district down. Why tear it down even? Just to chase us out of here? Maybe the mayor will come up with a policy to help you guys. Forget it. Haven't you heard? They're gonna chase us infected out. The Colombians are here. Where'd you hear that? We all know how the Colombians treat the infected. If something does end up happening, we might as well just head out into the waste ourselves and start pioneering. That shell-brained Herman. That darn shell-brain. What's wrong? Are you sick? No, Dr. Ceylon. They're also... The mayor must be having a tough time too. Don't get mad over this. No, I'm not mad. I thought this was going to be a warning I thought this was just going to be warning a few men to stop illegal mining. But if the Clemens are here, that changes everything. This is Siesta's own problem. Sir, how many are still mining obsidian? I'll come out and say it. I'm not going to turn you into the police. Ines said it just now. I'm a doctor. I know it's not realistic to just stop your obsidian work. What I want to do is help you solve this problem. Please, trust me. So won't you tell me? What do you mean? You're gonna help us? Who are you? And why? Hold on. You look familiar. You finally figured it out too, huh? You watched the Obsidian Festival broadcast, right? Remember the lady at the closing ceremonies was Mayor Herman? Who? No. I'm saying you look a lot like a woman I once met. A long time ago. We worked at the Obsidian mines together. It was a scholar from Victoria. She was pregnant. But she went to the mines every day for environmental surveys or whatever. She didn't know that much about mining, but she was real kind to us. Oh, now I remember. Her name was Barbara. Oh shit. Her mom? Is that her mom? The creature, with the miner's lamp on its back, trots along in short spurts as it gazes towards old Siesta's beach. There, Bird is sitting on the sand, plucking away at her strings spontaneously. Do you come here often? You can still see old Siesta here. Well, music is pleasing to the ear, and the sound of the waves carried on the wind is good accompaniment for the guitar. I didn't expect you to ask me that, though. So you're actually willing to talk? Huh? Isn't this what one would normally do? Yeah, I guess it is. Maybe I'm just a bit too narrow-minded. If everything can talk to everything else, then music might be the best language there is. Even if you don't speak the same tongue, music can help you convey your truest thoughts. Not bad. This feels like new inspiration. Bird starts strumming a slow, relaxed song. The waves rise and fall along with the rhythm. You two are the first to hear this piece. You too? Oh, are you including this foul beast here? Maybe the grass? No. Don't we have another listener here? Bird points at the steps next to them, which, logically, should be empty. Were you talking to it the whole time? Miss Bird, you can see it? The creature with a miner's lamp on its back stands on the beach and gazes blankly at the silhouette of old Siesta in the distance. It hesitantly tries to step into the seawater, but after a few plods it walks back onto land. It takes its hoof steps rhythmically, as though it is trying to match the music's beat, though it also looks like it isn't, and is just trying to maintain its own rhythm. Ba-dump, ba-dump, ba-dump. Yeah, I've been able to see it since the day I came to Siesta. Just the one? Are there others? Too bad. This is the only one I can see. Bird looks at the lamp on the creature's back, and the hard hat and goggles on its head. I wrote the miner's old Siesta song. Maybe it just happens to like things that have to do with oars. I'll play the song again, just for it. Bird starts strumming again, when Adele brushes her dress's hem and sits down next to Bird. Come to think of it, even though there hasn't been a single song of mine that could represent my whole life, maybe there's one or two that could give comfort to somebody out there, even if my audience is just a lone little black sheep. But that's not so bad. I stayed behind to listen to you play your guitar. You said you could see more of them. Where are they? They disappeared all of a sudden. I don't know where they went. Do they eat road signs like this one? I don't think so. I have an idea. Do you think this one eats road signs because it's a stray sheep?